Hi, and welcome to another preview of the Spring 2013 edition of Project Parade over at stampacademy.com. Today's project is a heart tea light cover, and I'm showing this to you in the dark just so that you could see how adorable it is when it flickers using one of those little battery-operated tea lights. So now that you've seen it in the dark, here it is in the light. I'm showing to you from the top so that you can see it has one of these little battery-operated tea lights that just flickers. And so it's a cylinder shape and then fits nicely over that. So to get started, you're going to need a piece of vellum. All of your measurements, as always, are in the PDF below this video. Just click on it to download. We're going to be using our Primrose Petals stamp pad today, and we're going to be using one of the new sets from the Spring Mini catalog. It's called Hearts Aflutter, and we're using a couple of hearts from there, which I have gone ahead and mounted on a clear mount. So I'm going to stamp into my pad, and I'm going to stamp one heart in the center here and then just randomly stamp around. Now when you stamp on vellum, you want to be very careful not to smudge, and the way you do that is by just stamping down and lifting straight up. Don't push too hard, and you want to stamp randomly in different directions just to give your project more interest. Definitely do stamp off the page from time to time, and go ahead and just fill up that entire sheet. Once you've done that, you're going to put this aside to dry. Next, you're going to take one of the laser cut pages from your Hearts Aflutter Designer Series paper, and you're just going to carefully cut around so that you've separated one of these hearts from the sheet. Once you have that done, you're going to take your Primrose Petals pad again and this little heart with the hearts in the center stamp, and you're going to ink that up and then just stamp a heart right there in the center. Once you've stamped that heart right there in the center of that laser cut piece, you're going to use your matching Hearts Aflutter framelits, and I'm going to be using the framelit that matches that. As you know, the ridge should be cutting side down. We are going to use our multi-purpose platform fully closed with a cutting plate. Put your laser cut piece here. You're going to put your heart framelit on top. Now I want to make sure this doesn't move, so I'm going to go ahead and trap it in there using a post-it note. I'm going to cover that with another cutting plate and run this through the bake shop. When it comes out, you're going to have this piece that the center is cut out of and this little heart, which you're going to save. So once your vellum piece is dry, what you're going to do is take a piece of sticky strip and you're going to just put it down one of the 4-inch sides. So you're just going to go right down that edge there. You're also going to take a window sheet and you're going to do exactly the same thing, where you just take a piece of your sticky strip, go right there to the edge, follow that edge down on the 4-inch side, and snip. Now a trick to remove the adhesive backing on your sticky strip is just to run your bone folder alongside of it. It is easier to remove that if you use a paper piercer or the edge of your scissor. And then what you're going to do is carefully make a cylinder from this. But the sticky strip is not very forgiving, so you want to make sure that you're matched up before you let this adhere. So I'm going to just follow that edge because you can kind of see through, stick my fingers in and secure it. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with my window sheet, where I'm going to remove the adhesive backing, and then I'm very carefully going to bring this around. And a trick to adhering this is you just line up your piece this way first, because you can, if it's only on that little edge, you can usually just adjust. And I'm going to line that up until it's where I want it to be, and then I'm going to adhere it. Now this one has to be inserted in here, and they're about the same size, so if you can very carefully squish it without bending it, you can get it to go in a little bit easier, and then it'll pop open by itself and it just slides down. And then just put this aside. You're going to go back to your laser cut heart, and what you're going to do is put some multi-purpose glue on here, and then you're going to glue it to the front of your project. So I'm just putting a thin layer around here, and then I'm going to make sure that I get these little edges here and there as well, because I want to get a nice grip. So once you've applied your Tombow on there, you're going to very carefully line this up so that this heart fits over this heart. And again, you can roll that on the inside, so it doesn't really matter if it matches perfectly, but you want to get that to adhere to the front of your project. And be careful because the glue does squeeze out a little bit, and you don't want to touch the window sheet with it because you don't want to get the glue on there. So just get that to adhere nicely. You can roll it on your paper. Sometimes that helps. And once that's adhered on there, you'll see that this lines up right over the little heart. Next, you're going to cut a piece of crochet trim that's going to fit around the cylinder, and then you're going to place sticky strip along the back of the crochet trim. Okay, we're going to put our sticky strip across the crochet trim, and just like anything else, we're going to rub our bone folder to adhere it, and I'm going to be using the little edge of my paper piercer to separate the adhesive backing from the strip. Once I get that peeled off, I am very carefully going to put it on my cylinder, beginning where I want the embellishments to go so that they're going to hide the little edges of my ribbon. So I'm carefully going to wrap this around, and it is forgiving because it's a window sheet, so it'll allow you to pick up and just adjust it if you need to. Once you get around to the front, you're going to stop it there. The next thing that I'm going to do is use my Pool Party ruffled ribbon, and you could adhere the sticky strip to that, or you can adhere it to the crochet trim, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to adhere my sticky strip to the center of my crochet trim all the way around. I'm going to take off the adhesive backing to that. Once I remove the adhesive backing, I am going to center my ruffled ribbon in the center of my crochet trim and wrap all the way around. And when I get to the front here, I'm going to take my ribbon scissor, and I'm just going to cut on the diagonal so that my little tail is decorative. You're going to go back to your little heart. You're going to put some glue dots on the back of your resin rose, and then you're going to center that right there on your little heart. And then you're going to use a few mini glue dots to adhere this heart to your ribbon. So once I have those glue dots on there, I'm going to place the heart where I want it to be, and then I'm going to put my finger in here so I could squeeze that to make sure that it adheres nicely. So once you've adhered that, you can just put that right over your tea light. If you like these types of projects, you may want to sign up for one of our classes at stampacademy.com. Again, this is a preview for this spring 2013 edition of Project Parade, which is also available as a gold level membership. And if you have any questions for us, we are at mail@stampacademy.com.